Welcome to the Forward Podcast, a brand new year, and finally got Carrie back with me.
Hey.
Carrie, I did not
I had
like...
a nice long break.
Yes, you most certainly did.
I've been off.
I did not like when you're not on here either.
Aw, you did a great job, though. I listened to it.
Oh, you did not.
Yes, I did.
What was it about?
Yeah. It was about New Year, New You.
Oh, wow. Well, you did listen.
Yes, I did.
What a girl. Well, you gave me the notes, so I went through it and did the best I could.
I knew that would work out well for
you.
you.
New year, new you. Here, honey, here's what I want you to work on. Oh, man. Well, hey, we're starting into kind of this new year and some thoughts for January that Carrie and I have kind of compiled. And we really wanted to kind of head in a direction of taking ownership. Mm-hmm. And the more we looked at it, Carrie, the more we were like, wow, like this is really good. These notes are really good. These are things that oftentimes even we struggle with. And the more we kind of dug into it, the more we're like, okay, let's take a couple of weeks and really tackle this subject.
There's so many categories you can go through and think through when you're thinking about taking ownership of your own life.
Right.
And so it's really nice to be able to take your time through it. I think it's definitely a topic our generation needs for sure, but any generation, any age can profit from, working on yourself for sure.
Right.
And as always, this definitely came from this whole podcast, I hope you all know, literally comes from us just living our day-to-day life. I mean, most of this is stuff we're working on.
People are like, wow, you guys are so awesome. We're like, yeah, these are things we need to work on. So we're just...
You're only about a month behind our personal growth. But it really came from such an honest place because when we were in Florida over, Christmas/New Year's, I started thinking about resolutions and we were kind of talking through it as a couple. We were like you guys. Some years we set big goals and don't reach them. Some years we don't set goals. It's kind of been up and down, whatever. But this year I was like, I am so tired of all that. I'm tired of failing it. But I don't want to be a person that just never sets life goals. Yeah. So it really came from a place of how can I set goals and actually accomplish them? And I was like, get real with myself. And so I think that's where this idea was born. Like, not that it's revolutionary by any means or original, but it's definitely something that we want to continue to talk through and work through as we raise kids and go through our lives.
So before we jump into this, it's so funny. Everyone knows this, and maybe you're brand new to the show. So let me fill you in. I have a very, what kind of personality do you think I have? Like a...
super structured, type A.
Okay, so type A. I would fit into that category, and your personality would be...
crazy, fly by the seat of my pants, type B.
Yeah, and we both thrive.
We do.
Where we're at.
Yeah.
But for everyone who kind of, and we have a lot of listeners that lean your way for sure. I think I get on people's nerves when I start talking about this. But then the people who are type A, those are the ones that write in are like, yes, we agree. That's amen.
Type
Parker
B
there.
people meant to write in, they just forgot.
They're going to get around to it.
Yeah.
So I think this is super important. Like you just said, you do not make a lot of goals. You do not journal that I know of.
No.
But this year you are. So walk some of our listeners through that. Really, they lean more towards you and kind of some things that you've started this year that's brand new to you. And the funny thing is you need to tell me about it. Like I found out about it, you telling others. And I'm like, oh, who is this woman?
Sometimes when I tell you about stuff, it like takes the thrill out of it, because if I don't tell anyone, then I'm like, oh man, the only person I have to prove it to is myself. And like, I love competing with myself. Yeah. So
you are your greatest competitor.
So so our topic this week is personal responsibility.
Wait. So
I'm tying it all in together.
Are you going to tell us?
Yes.
We want to know.
I am.
Okay.
Our topic is personal responsibility. And that is where this was born, because I was going through I have to take responsibility for my own life. I mean, obviously I do depend on you a lot. And even I do have some great friends who are super structured. They help me with remembering, things like, hey, so-and-so could use a text or whatever. Just help me in kind of my ministry role. They really do. But there are times when it's time for me to grow. And so what I've done this year is I've established a little checklist, print out a little spreadsheet.
Good night, y'all.
A spreadsheet.
This is a Christmas miracle. Like, this
I
is
literally
awesome.
had to get
I love
on
it.
AI and type out like, how do I do a spreadsheet? I've never done one. I really have for work.
You
but
should have asked me. I have
hate
plenty of them.
They make me want to die. But anyway, I did a spreadsheet. It is very simple because here's how my brain works. Maybe you're with me. If I start categorizing, I'm an all or nothing person. So I have to put in like every category that ever existed. And then my brain sees that and says, oh my gosh, that's way too much for one person. It gets overwhelmed and it's like, never mind. So like I get halfway there and then I get overwhelmed and quit. So I had to trick myself and I had to say, okay, we're going to do micro habits. Like I can do anything I want to do for a short period of time, but my enemy is consistency. So for instance, I'm great at devotions half of the week. The other half, I just don't do them. I'm great at working out half the time. The other, like I'm up and down, up and down. It's very difficult for me to do one thing all the time because my brain hates structure and monotony and mundane. So I just created a little sheet with micro habits and I put on there text to encourage one person a day, read one chapter of a book, read 2 pages of the Bible, do one household item. Now, not chores. Obviously, we're all cleaning this house all the time because 7 people live here. So there's no way to really structure that well, especially with a ministry life and 3 kids in sports. But I put on there one household item. For my brain and for my life, that means something like organizing a drawer, cleaning out a closet.
Oh, wow.
You know, just things that we don't do on the regular and that don't need done on the regular, but there's always one of those weird little jobs, right? That needs done. So my spreadsheet, those are the items I have on it. It's not a lot. And that might feel like simplistic to some people, but for me, those are things that I want to do daily. It's not that I never do them now. It's just that I want to do them every single day. And I'm trying to teach myself how to get married to consistency and do the same things every day. But I cannot do, if I have to have like a 45-minute devotional every day, I just won't do it. I'll just be like, that's too long. Now I will do it sometimes. And there's sometimes I start reading the Bible and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be here for a while. Like the Spirit just comes over me and I'm praying for a long time in it, you know, but then I don't do it the next day. So I don't want that. I don't want the up and down of my personality in these items. It's okay for me to fly crazy on some other things, but on these things, I need to be able to keep up with our home. I need to be able to encourage people regularly and I need to be able to read regularly. Oh, I do have workout on there. I left that out. But I put workout. And you know what I did? I did the first month is 10 minutes a day.
Good.
Second month, 20 minutes a day. Like, because I know if I do a 40-minute workout, I won't do another one. You know, it'd be like, oh, it's too much.
That's so wise. This is what I'm doing. The best place to start. Let me ask you a question. First of all, tell us how you doing. Like
very well.
Good.
Very well.
We're over a week into this, so that's good. Praise the Lord. So good.
Yeah. I didn't hit much. I hit 1 workout out of 7, but I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. So I didn't do, that's
and
fine.
That's okay.
But I think the only category I didn't miss was my devotions because I did prioritize that. Like,
nice.
That's the most important. But the cool thing is Nora saw my spreadsheet and Nora has a very similar thinking pattern as I do. And she has read with me every single day.
Nice.
She has not missed a day reading a chapter of a book with me.
Wow.
So I am very proud of that because man, how do our habits affect our children? Right? Yeah.
Do you want to share that spreadsheet with others if somebody asks for it or no?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get it in the show notes. If I can't, just write in. DM Carrie and I will get that over to you.
It's embarrassingly simple. It's not fancy.
I feel like that's what some people need though.
Yeah, I didn't want anything that like made me panic.
Yeah. Where I'm bought into, full focus calendar and, a lot of people are in Frank Covey back in the day and if you're like us, then it might be simple, but I think this is good. I think this is what people need to hear, especially this time of year. People get overwhelmed, and I think it's we put a lot of pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question real quick, Karen. This is something I was thinking about when you were talking about this. You have micro habits, and you said, I wrote it down. You struggle with structure
Mm-hmm.
and the mundane, so the day to day. Um, do you ever feel like maybe that affected you when you were young, especially when it came to the spiritual side of things? If people who have kind of your brain, your way of thinking, do y'all ever become bored with like church and the structure of church and the let me use the word scheduling of church? Um, did that ever affect you when you were young? Like, Carrie, have you read your Bible? Carrie, you're in church,
Mm-hmm.
3 hymns, be at the piano, blah, blah. Did that ever, do you ever feel like that has come up? Like, yeah, I struggled as a kid with the way that I think and do things.
Oh yeah, for sure. It still does in some ways.
Does
Not
it?
as bad because I understand my personality more and I know
Right.
kind of how to get around it. But yeah, as a kid, for sure. I was very blessed, though, to grow up in a very thriving, healthy church. And my dad thinks like me. He's
Mm,
very
okay.
impulsive and very inspiration led. He's very passionate, especially about the ministry. And so, being under a pastor, even though it was my own dad who had the same thought structure as I do, it that really helped
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
dad would just stand up in a service. You never knew what he was going to do. I mean, he
Come on
would
up and
he would
sing a
pull some
song.
stuff out. Yeah, like, hey, you kids come up here and sing that one you did last week. He did keep it very exciting.
That's awesome.
I will say. So
I do
that
love that.
helped. I think I struggled more when I went to college.
Yeah.
And I was a part of a ministry that I didn't, it was much bigger than I had ever been in. And I think probably the thing I struggled with most as a kid was like the monotony of the music. Our
Mm,
music was all the same.
mm,
And I struggled with that.
yeah.
But again, it not bad. It never turned me off. It was just like, man, I wish we could do some new stuff.
Mm,
But once in a while we would. And I think right when I would start to get kind of my eyes kind of wandering to maybe other things, that's when, God in his wisdom was like, whoa, get that crazy one back here. And dad would change something up or whatever. And
yeah.
yeah, as a pastor's kid too, you're very invested in your own ministry.
Hmm.
So that helps. It helps to have that ownership because a lot of it, like, you were there cleaning on a Saturday night and you're the one that picked out the songs and, your family's the
Yeah.
one singing the next day. So that kind of helped with any monotony for sure.
So anybody listen to this that's in ministry, I think it's vital care that we take notes and realize that you do have so many different types in the room that
Mhm.
are worshiping and coming together.
So true.
And the problem is we always are like, they're wrong and they're right, or we
Yeah.
try to put them in a category of, well, you can't be right with God if you're not in our circle
Mhm.
and our way of thinking or our worship. And I think that's wrong. I think
Mhm.
it's realizing that for me, when I hear of like, yeah, dad would say, you kids come on up here. Like, I cringe at that. I couldn't do it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way, just the way that I like schedule and structure and no downtime, like everything
Yeah.
needs to be the same. I mean, in my heart, I battle being very religious.
Sure.
But both are there and both are worshiping in different ways. I remember
Mhm.
you and I heard this a couple years ago, a group sing, and they got done, and I was like, "Man, that was really good. Did you like that family singing?" And it was kind of a longer kind of concert, and you're like, "Yeah, the first song, maybe the second." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And you're like, "It was all the same. It was the
Yeah.
same. I don't know, chords, or it was the same tone. Help
Yeah.
me out.
Chord
It's
progressions,
just
same style.
same style, same genre.
Yeah.
Just you were like every
I was
song
like, I fell
sounded the
asleep two
exact.
hours ago.
Yeah, you were like it literally. And
Yeah.
whereas I was like, man, this was great. Like,
Yeah.
I love this. Everyone was, and neither one of us were right or wrong.
Right. It's just different
It's just
preferences.
very much the way that God has created us. And I think anybody who's listening to this that's in ministry, just remember that you do have those teenagers.
Yeah.
That some are able to give full attention for 40 minutes, and there's some that after about two or three, you're boring them to death. Change it
Yes.
up, move, voice fluctuation, move around the
Yeah.
whole, just giving a seminars. It doesn't work always for everybody.
Right. And I think this bleeds over beautifully into what we're trying, the point we're trying to make is that you have personal responsibility within your life, especially if you're an adult listening to this. If you're out of the house, you're over 18, especially, moving into college and kind of that age group, it is time to learn about yourself and to figure out how you think. I think one of the greatest blessings of our marriage has been seeing ourselves through one another's eyes and being able to learn about myself as I'm learning about you. In the end, I'm like, I actually figured out a lot about the way I think too. And to take that ownership and responsibility for your life and how you think and how you move and react. It was, it's easy to just be reactionary to everything. And instead, I think it's very important to say, all right, how does my brain work? How does my personality work? And what can I do to not that it's wrong how you think or how your brain works, but how can you use it to best glorify the Lord and to best build your family, to be a witness for the Lord, to worship well. You can go to every church in the whole world. You will not find one that suits you perfectly. I guess unless you're the pastor and you get to make every single decision. But even the pastor, you don't even get to make all the decisions because you have accountability with deacons and boards and things like that. So I think it's up to us when you become an adult to start figuring out, how do I move through life successfully and passionately with the brain and the personality that God's given me.
Really good. Really good. So we're going to call this next couple of weeks Taking Ownership, and kind of care for the next couple of moments. Let's just tune in, as you said, on that personal responsibility.
Yes.
And let me ask you, where do you feel like most people avoid responsibility today? In your mind, like, of course, you're around a lot more females. If you ask me that same question, obviously I'm going to answer from a masculine end. They avoid work. They're lazy. They don't show up. They expect, like, you owe me, I have a very hard time with that. And so I would automatically go towards that. Like, people avoid responsibility. Where do you think on the feminine end, and then maybe we can bring them together, but where do you think a lot of people are avoiding in 2026? Where are they avoiding that personal responsibility?
I think for women, what I see, I think women avoid responsibility in passion in their lives. I think a very wide majority of women, everything in their home, it's not that they're bad at running their homes. They have wonderful, beautiful homes. And they might have good kids and they might have whatever, but they avoid a responsibility in living passionately. They're so structured and they're so concerned with everything getting done, not just getting done their way. And they're so concerned about, everybody doing the right thing and showing up at the right time and getting everything done and accomplished, that they lose sight of maybe your husband is drifting from you. Maybe you don't have his heart anymore, or he doesn't have your heart anymore. Or maybe your kids are struggling with friendships or spiritually or things. And I feel like women are just so, everything has to be done their way and done right. That they sometimes just like let stuff go and fix your business. Like, you're the temperature in the home. A mom walks through that door and what her mood is greatly impacts. And I'm saying mom, but it could, even if you don't have children, you walk through the door and how you feel and how you interact with, your husband, or if you're coming home from college, your parents, your siblings, like, as a woman, our moods really, it really sets the temperature and the mood in the home. Or even if, you're living with roommates or dorm mates or whatever. So I think women sometimes can avoid that responsibility. That, hey, it's up to us. Like, kids and men will follow our moods. They just will. Men are programmed to make us happy and not, they don't want to see us crying or upset. So they'll kind of cower to it. And of course, kids will as well. But I feel like that's a really good start for this year. So God, if women could focus on, when I'm interacting with people, am I being loving? Am I being kind? Am I being patient? Am I being authentic? Am I taking care of myself to where I am able to set that mood in the home well.
It's really good. I think one for both male and female passion. I never think about that. That's so good. On the male side, definitely there's some apathetic tendencies that are really coming in.
Yeah.
And I think for both, it kind of comes back to just owning our choices instead of. We live in this world where everybody's blaming everybody else.
Yeah.
It just no one's owning up to. Yeah, I failed. Personal responsibility is saying I did wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would you forgive me?
Wow.
I think both male and female, we have an epidemic where no one is owning up to I did something wrong.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. It's in politics. We have billions of dollars missing, and everybody's blaming everybody else. And there's fraud that's taking place all over the place, and nobody. They're not owning up. It's like, oh, they stole it. They did it. They did it. They said it in our politics, in our government. Unfortunately, a lot of times in marriages, it started with Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes all the way back to Genesis.
This is not a new problem.
It's not new, but I think. For this year, growth starts when we stop asking who failed me and we start saying, okay, what can I do to fix what I have messed up?
Yeah.
And personal growth is taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Because responsibility is empowering. It's not restrictive.
Right.
It's not put you in a corner. No, taking responsibility is vital in that we realize we're not perfect creatures. Stop living an Instagram, TikTok world, filtered. That's not life. That's not real.
Yeah.
Look at the Forward podcast. Like, honestly, Kara, we literally are still sitting at our kitchen table. Like, we are 90 some episodes into this thing. It'll come up on 2 years here soon.
Yeah.
And it's not a perfect podcast. And sometimes I get on and look at other things. I'm like, oh, we got to fix this. We got to do this. But then I realize, like, we can't live up to everybody else's expectation. And, and we don't have time to do this podcast, much less have a studio and soundproof and have people do graphics and sound. Like, all that's great. And we'll probably incorporate it one day. But we are who we are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, including myself, we have to get back to just owning the choices that we have made. Stop blaming parents. Stop blaming an upbringing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm tired of that one.
Look, brother, dude, like, seriously, you are 31 years old.
Yeah.
You can't keep blaming everything when you were 6, 7. Like, I am sorry that some people went through some abuse, and I'm sorry that people went through hard times. But at some point, you have to start owning choices now and today. And at some point, you have to press toward the mark and grow up. And part of that is just not looking back. Well, mom and dad, my grandparents, my step parents, like, man, I'm sorry. And we all have those stories. Let me put it this way. Everybody has those stories. And I get passionate about it.
I do too.
At some point, like, we all have to grow up. Like, I think if every time I did wrong, you looked at me and I hurt you, or I didn't live up to the expectation that you had set for me and even for myself. And I was like, yeah, Kara, well, when I was 9 years old, this goes back to when, like, at some point you'd be like, honey, let me help you out. Grow up.
I'm really sorry you're not past your 9-year-old self.
Right.
I mean, and there is a time to get past it.
There is.
But it should be quickly.
Like, move.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you have to take time to recover, we're there for you. If you have to get counseling, without a doubt, get counseling.
Absolutely.
But all of those things should lead towards recovery in a way that you're recovered, like you're moving on. And part of that, I think that we could all grow in a personal responsibility is just owning it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did wrong. Like, or, that's my fault. I've got a flaw there. Yeah. And I'm going to work on this.
Yeah. There's something too that I really would love to just shout from the rooftops, but all these people our age that are raising children and claiming trauma from their upbringing, and I know a lot of them, there are kids out there that have traumatic upbringings. There are 75% of the ones I've talked to have not had a traumatic upbringing.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, no. The stuff you call trauma is just drama, and you need to get over it.
Right.
And here's the thing I want to say too. You are raising children. I can't wait to see what they say about us.
Yeah.
Like,
And they will.
and
They'll
they
have
will.
stuff to
If
say.
you
Sure.
think you're doing it right, you're just overcorrecting what your parents did wrong. It doesn't mean you're doing it right, and it doesn't mean you're not messing up another part of your kid's life. Look, as a parent, I can confidently say we are definitely doing a good job as parents. I can also confidently say we're definitely messing them up in some ways.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
we're humans, we're not perfect.
Right.
And I'm just terrified and trembling in my boots to criticize my parents or even my grandparents for things when my kids are coming up.
Right.
And I've only got about 10 more years till their opinions and their perspectives of their childhood, I have to sit there and listen to it.
Right.
Oh man, some of these people and what they say, I'm just like, you probably shouldn't have had children of your own, because you are going to reap everything you have sown with your criticism. And I say that knowing that I will too.
Right.
I have said things about my parents that a couple years down the road, I'm like, oh man, like I get why they did it. Maybe it wasn't perfect,
Right.
but I understand where they were coming from because now we're in the teenage stage.
Right.
I totally get it. And another thing that I've been doing too, that I hope this helps somebody, I really do, is the Bible says, in everything give thanks, right? And
Sure.
everything give thanks, for
Right.
this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. That is really hard to do when it's something that's hurt you. But I have been trying lately with anything that comes up. And, just those little things you think about that even maybe they happened a couple years ago, but it's still just like, oh, if you even start to talk about it, you get upset, right?
Right.
We all have a couple of those in our lives. And I have 2 or 3 that most of the time I used to just push the thoughts away. Like, I'm not even gonna think about it. Now what I do instead, and this is new to this year, is I'll stop and I'll say, Lord, thank you that happened to me. Thank you that they said that to me. That really hurt, but thank you that it happened. And honestly, I don't even know why I started doing it other than I just read the Bible and I was like, I guess I got to do this. It helps so much. It really does. Even with like a couple of things that you should not be thankful for. But I've been able to share my heart with a couple people on this earth. And I'm like, thank you, God, that I at least got to share that.
Yeah.
Thank you that I got to like be a witness to that person in that way that would not have listened to me otherwise, except that I did have that experience.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a little hurtful for me, but they've been through a lot more. And perhaps my encouragement struck a nerve, and in a good way. So that's something, if you feel like I have all this stuff I don't know how to get over, start thanking God for it. Thank you, God, that person hurt me, because now I know who they are and I would have trusted them with something much bigger.
Right.
But now I'm wise and I know, okay, that little hurt really taught me some good lessons.
Yeah. Man, I love it. I love that whole dialogue you just gave. I think forgiving, thankfulness for sure, massive.
Yeah.
That's huge. I've tried that in small things, nothing really major. The easy ones, like I could cherry pick these. Definitely another area for those that maybe have gone through some of this trauma and or you really have been through difficult situations. I think it's personal responsibility in just forgiving people, living in that past, living in that rut, in that mud all the time. It's not mentally healthy for anyone. It just brings anxiety. It's going to bring pain. I think I really believe there are times we just have to forgive people. You're 9, 10, 11, 13, like I'm talking about real trauma. Anyways, it's living just at some point, maybe just saying, you know what, Lord, for the sake of moving on, I forgive them. That you may never get an I'm sorry, and you can argue all day long, but just forgive them. And then I think what I have learned, what has helped me tremendously, is learning from others and then trying not to make the same mistakes.
Yes.
I think there's just this personal responsibility of not always blaming others, blaming seasons, blaming,
Mm-hmm.
situations. Well, I'm this way, I'm this way, I'm this way because,
Mm-hmm.
because taking ownership is then saying, okay, I learned from, there were good and bad that came up for all of us in our upbringing. So learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
Not mull over the bad, take the good and multiply that, and the bad just abstain from.
Yeah.
Like there are things I don't raise my kids the same way that I was raised.
Yeah.
I don't sit here, I never complain. I
Mm-hmm.
never, oh, woe is me. My kids, they have no idea. It's not like, why? Because, well, there's some things that just culturally have changed. And
Mm-hmm.
so I apply them to, and I think anyone, there's a lot of people get hurt in ministry. They're working in ministry. Their pastor is a task driver, a taskmaster, just poor leadership, hurt
Mm.
them,
Yeah.
underpaid them, overworked them. Okay, don't quit. Go somewhere else and just learn from that leadership, and don't be that leader.
Yes.
Don't be that person. As
Yes.
people who get hurt in church, and a deacon said this, they did this, they turned their back, we got kicked out of here. This just the whole mess in these churches. Okay, well, go somewhere else and
Mm-hmm.
worship and learn from it, and don't treat other people like that.
Yes.
There's I've been hurt in ministry many, many times, but now we're 20 years in and we're still going strong. And I'll tell you why. Because I've learned, just don't be those people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't be those people that gossip. I don't sow discord. I don't stab
Mm-hmm.
people in the back.
Yeah.
I've had all those things done to me, but I've just learned, okay, I'm not going to sit here and, oh, what was me? Does anybody feel sorry? Can I just get
Mm-hmm.
some prayer? Facebook, pray for me because I just been so hurt. No, like, okay, I was stabbed in the back. I was hurt, but life moves on.
Yeah.
I've hurt people. Like, don't be that person.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's ministry, whether it's family, husband, I didn't have a good, relationship with my father, or didn't have a good example from my dad. I'm not talking about me personally, just what I've heard. Okay. So learn from it and don't be that person.
Yeah.
Don't blame that person for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, well, you had a bad upbringing. I wish we had a time machine we could go back, but we can't. So don't be that father.
Yeah.
Don't be that abusive stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that rebellious whatever, fill in the blank. I think it's yes, saying thank you. It's forgiving. And then lastly, I think it really is just learning from those circumstances, taking personal responsibility, owning up to the choices that we are making now.
Yeah.
And not blaming an entire generation that is really gone. And a lot of them have already passed. And
Mm-hmm.
yet here we are, grown adults in our 40s,
Yeah.
blaming 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, at some point we have to move forward.
And I think that does come to happen when there's people that sit around and, blame their upbringing. And it's like, well, at the same time, you're doing nothing. You're mad at something that happened years ago. Nothing can be done about it now. Maybe you got an apology, maybe you didn't.
Amen.
But by sitting around and rehashing it and letting it ruminate in your mind, and maybe even in your home with your words, like, you're literally keeping it alive. You're keeping that trauma front and center. And there is something about bringing it forward and facing it and, getting counsel. Like you said,
Sure.
we're not advising anyone to bury problems and ignore them.
Absolutely
And, no, definitely get them out, see a therapist, see a counselor, see a, ministry leader, get help in whichever way is good for you. But what we're saying is, take the personal responsibility that this is my vehicle to move forward.
Right.
Somebody may have sliced the tires a long time ago, but it's my turn to switch them out and get back on the road.
Right.
The whole purpose is not to sit there and stew in something that it's over.
That's right.
And so I think that personal responsibility, if you start there, and to circle this all the way back around, it can be small. It's overwhelming to sit there and think, oh my gosh, I've got so much of this on my plate because I've really dredged up the issues in my own life for the last several years. And now I'm at a place where what do I do with it now?
Right.
Start small. For me, I've fought my personality and I have fought my thinking style for years, trying to be what I think is successful. And this year I was like, you know what? It's just time to do what works for me.
Yeah.
And it might be funny and goofy and silly and simplistic to others, but it also might be very inspiring to somebody else. So I'm just going to start with that. Start small. Start with a spreadsheet I had to ask AI how to do. And it worked. It worked. Yeah. And that's, for me, that personal responsibility of like, no one's coming to help me reach my goals. Like, I love my husband. I love my parents. I love my kids. No one cares. Like, they're all dealing with their own stuff. I can't put that on someone else. I'm 41. Like, if I want to reach goals and accomplish things and teach my brain how to have good habits, that's on me. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Start small.
It's good. I love it. Hey, we went over our time.
We went way over time.
Hey, it was good though. I think this is a great conversation. Yes. I think people want to hear this. I think you and I need it. It's not something we have. It's something that I want to grow in.
Yes,
I don't want to be okay and like, wow, we're fine. No, it's. Yeah. I do want to be a person that learns from the past and becomes a better person.
Yes.
A person that shines the light of Jesus no matter what I've been through, because his grace is sufficient. Yeah. And he is enough. He is enough to get us through. And so, hey, why don't we stop right there. Let's and taking ownership. This will be part 1 and personal responsibility. And we'll hit into segment 2 this next week. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Sure appreciate you. I hope your January is going amazing.
Have a great week.